there, welcome to another episode of Dee Brief. I thought it was about time for another check-in. I'm Dee. I was diagnosed with Hodgkin lymphoma in November of 2024, actually coming up to my 1-year anniversary of my diagnosis, which I'm not sure how I feel about. I think it could be quite an emotional time. Anyway, I'm here. It is October of 2025. I finished chemotherapy in May and I was declared to be in remission in July. So here I am checking in. I might look a little bit different to the last time that I posted because it's been a little while. So I thought about time to check in. So we'll start with my hair. As you can see, it's really growing in beautifully. Do a full 360 for you. And I'm wearing wax in my hair for the first time, which I had to go and buy yesterday. I took my husband with me because I thought he had a bit more knowledge of that kind of hair product. Like, I've used gel before as a curly girl, but never wax. So we've gone for wax. See how it looks at the end of the day, but I'm pretty happy with it. Grey, I am absolutely much more grey than I was before chemotherapy. I reckon at least double the greys that I did before. Not a problem for me. As I said before, aging is a privilege, which I'm acutely aware of now. So you can see there's heaps in here. Got quite a patch happening here. I'm wondering if I'm going to be maybe a bit silver fox. But that's fine. Loving it. And working with the texture of it. So we'll see how that continues to grow in. I might have to, or not have to, I might want to wear wigs more often again because of maybe it might get boofy and awkward. I have not cut my hair except for doing some trims around my ear. This is 4 months worth of growth because I continued to shave for 1 month after I finished chemotherapy. So I read that it stays in your body for about that long, and I just felt like I wanted a really fresh start for my hair. So that's why I chose to keep shaving it for 1 month. And so this is 4 months worth of growth. Go to my brows. I'm wearing a little makeup today for the first time in any of my videos. So I guess it's not an accurate picture 100%, but I'll show you anyway. Think you can see much more growth on my eyelashes and my brows. And I want to say now, I think they're 100% back. I've said that probably twice already, but I think there's definitely been more growth and I reckon I'm back now 100%, which is really great. So taken 5 months post chemo to get that, which I'm pretty happy with. It was faster than expected. With my nails, they're growing beautifully, not totally 100% back to normal. Although I feel like my right hand is, and my left, I still have a couple of nails there where the nail bed still feels elongated. So it's like closer to the edge than it used to be, which makes it quite sensitive, like under there. If I were to get anything under my nail or something, it's very sensitive and uncomfortable. So still a little bit of abnormality to my nails. You can sort of see in the middle one especially, you can see sort of where it's elongated. But they're strong, they're not breaking. And I reckon they're very, very close to being fully grown out since finishing chemo. So hopefully that nail bed issue is maybe addressed by the end of the year. That would be nice. Neuropathy, I still have a very slight amount in the very tips of my fingers. I only feel it if I really press down on them. So that's not bothering me. It's not stopping me from sewing or doing other fine motor tasks. So that's fine, but it hasn't really changed since the last time I did a Dee Brief. Pain, still no pain, which is great. My period, I'm referring to a little piece of paper so I remember what to go over. My period has remained regular, very happy with that. Brain fog is ongoing in the way that I have trouble finding words. I do think it's gotten better, but I still have trouble finding words sometimes to the point where I absolutely cannot find it. I'm searching, I'm trying to think of synonyms, other ways to say it, and I can't. And it doesn't frustrate me. I just have to laugh at myself. And I'm really open with whoever I'm talking to. I say, I'm sorry, I just need a moment to gather my thoughts. Or I just abandon the thought altogether and I say, you know what I'm talking about, right? And hopefully they do. And most of the time they do. So I think you just got to be really kind to yourself and gentle and have a laugh, because if you don't laugh, you cry. So just be really kind to yourself. It will get better over time. It has for me, and I can feel it getting better. But absolutely still have trouble with finding words sometimes. With my scars, they're coming along really well. This is the scar where I had my first lymph node removed for the biopsy that led to my diagnosis. That's really good. I'm not feeling any raised areas anymore. Maybe ever so slight indentation, but I think that's to be expected because there literally is a very small indentation, but I can hardly see that. It doesn't bother me at all. I have been using a scar gel, and to help with scar management, you need to put the gel on there every day and to do press pretty much as hard as you feel comfortable pressing, and rub in small circles. That will help break up the scar tissue underneath. That is the best way to manage scars. It actually doesn't really matter so much what type of gel you use. I've switched to a silicone one. I don't know if that's made any difference. I was using bio oil before, but it's actually more important the actual massage that you do rather than the actual product, is my awareness. I have a small scar still from my pick line. I'm wearing this shirt today, so I can't show you. The sleeves don't go up. And that is better. It's less raised. It's less red. I'll show you in another video next time. I'll make sure I'm not wearing a long sleeve shirt. That's coming along nicely. In terms of my teeth, I am still getting quite sensitive teeth. It's really localized into one particular spot, kind of middle of my bottom tooth, jaw area, about halfway back. And it's mostly on my right side, somewhat on the left. So sometimes I need to avoid chewing hot, especially hot or especially cold foods right on those areas. So I'm finding maybe I'm chewing a little bit more at the front or right at the back to avoid that discomfort. I'm using Sensodyne toothpaste. I'm not really seeing too much improvement there. It sort of comes and goes. Planning to see a dentist in the next few months, and I'll get some of their advice about that. In terms of work, I have been doing 5 days a week at about 5 to 6 hours per day. It has been too much though. I've been really tired and not been able to enjoy socializing, or if I've been socializing, I'm finding it's really impacting my work, my ability to concentrate and really show up for my clients and my colleagues. I'm feeling really drained after a day at work, and especially like at the end of a weekend, come Monday morning, I was finding it really, really, really hard to get out of bed in the morning. So I had a chat with my manager, who has been amazingly flexible. I've been really, really grateful to have such an amazing manager and team behind me at work, who's been willing to work with me to make flexible arrangements and to change those arrangements and to trial different things until I find the right balance for me. So I've been really, really lucky in that sense. And I've decided to try 4 days a week at about 5 hours per day. So I'm going to trial that for 3 months and see if that is the right balance for me. I'm hoping next year I could increase that, but we're just going to take it each day as it comes, each month as it comes, reflect, review, and take it one step at a time. And to touch on how my mental health is going and my triggers, I had to have another blood test, which involved cannula, of course, because I don't have my PICC line anymore. the last time I did that, about a month ago, I think I made a video after that and said found it pretty hard, just sort of being reminded, being in the chair, being sort of transported back to being a patient and reminded about my journey. I found that pretty hard and I was crying a lot with the nurse. But I went again because I needed another one in the lead up to my last haematology appointment, which was about 2 weeks ago now. And my husband offered to come with me and I felt bad. I feel like I don't want to burden you, have to take time off work or have to sort of leave work, mess up, your routine. But I decided to accept his offer to come with me, which is hard. It's hard to accept help, especially when you're like, as a healthcare professional, we're the ones giving help and caring for people. And so it can be really hard to accept that you would like that. You would like that help. So I said yes, and I'm really glad that I did. The experience was much better. Him being there was really comforting, and I got through it without a single tear. I handled it really well. The nurse, props to her as well. I do think that makes a big difference as to your nurses, the way that they interact with you. This one could tell that I was on the verge of struggling, so she spoke with me about different topics to distract me, and it was really good. And even though you know exactly what they're doing in the moment, just engage with it, try to throw yourself into that conversation that they're offering you. It helps. Even the, kind of placebo, like you can trick yourself into thinking, I am distracted, I'm okay. I still use my mantra that my psychologist, who I met through the cancer centre and worked with there, sort of helped me develop. So it's a mantra I say to myself. Sometimes I say it out loud or whisper it to myself in the moment, or just think it in my head. I think I am safe, I am okay, everything is going as it should. These are professionals. I am in the right place. I'm being looked after. I am safe. And that's really helpful. That's what I find helps to get me through some of those really tough moments where I start to, my mind starts to spiral. And I do struggle to put into words what it is that I'm feeling in that moment. So it's sort of my way of taking back a bit of control in that moment and saying, nope, I am safe, and trying to override that that sort of negative thought process where you start to spiral into things are going to go wrong, things are going wrong, or you start to think of the worst. Like for me, I had a really bad reaction to the first time my PICC line was inserted, and then at other points when I had things flushed through my PICC line, my body reacted in a bad way, and so I get reminded of that sometimes. So that's where my mantra really helps. I think I am safe. Another thing I wanted to talk about with my mental health is something I'm working through at the moment. Is now that I'm in survivorship mode, I'm struggling to really, I guess, live in the moment and be really, I don't know, again, word finding difficulty. Sorry if you can hear my cat scratching in the background. I struggle with just being in the moment and having fun and enjoying the moment for what it is. I have like a little devil on my shoulder saying, you're not making the most of it. You've been given, this new lease on life. You should be, I don't know, getting the fullest out of every single minute, every single moment with all the people that are really important to me in my life. Some examples are like I was at my remission party, which I'm going to do a separate video about. It was a really amazing day. But afterwards I just felt, oh my gosh, I couldn't spend time with everyone. And there were 70 people there, so of course I couldn't spend much time with everybody. So I had to reflect on that because that really bothered me for a while, and I was feeling anxious about how my guests were feeling. Like, oh, did they think that I didn't spend much time with them. Did they enjoy themselves? You know, some of them had to travel quite a long way to be there. I wanted to make sure everyone was enjoying themselves and I was, you know, sharing myself and spending quality time with everybody. And I just couldn't do that, you know, with everybody, with how many people were there. So I've been trying to unpack that with myself, and I had some really good advice from my friend Alicia, who actually got me these earrings, by the way. Gorgeous. Thank you, Alicia. She said to me, what would you say if I came to you with this situation, this conundrum, these thoughts? And that made me stop and think, all right, okay, I have to think about that. So I reflected on that for a while and thought, I would say that if I was having fun in the moment, then I was making the right decisions, and I was enjoying that moment to the fullest. I can't spread myself too thin. I can't be everywhere at once. And yeah, so but I keep like looking at my cats and thinking, am I making the most of all my moments with you? You know, you're getting older. So that's something I'm working through at the moment. So just wanted to give you a brief update of how I'm going physically and mentally at this point in my cancer journey. Far from over. Chemo is just really the first step, or treatment in general. If you may not have had chemo, you might have had a different treatment or other experience. But yeah, treatment's just the first step. Survivorship is tough. It's something that I think maybe needs some more resources put towards, and I'm keen to be involved in that, maybe through peer support group network. I don't know yet what that looks like, but I'm keen, and I'm sort of saying yes to any opportunities that come my way in that space. You know, opportunities to talk to people or share my story via different newsletters and through my work, through Lymphoma Australia. So I'll keep putting myself out there and do my bit, which makes me feel like I'm giving back and helping other people to feel more prepared and supported. And please know you are not alone. This also helps me know that I'm not alone as well, because I know that there are people out there watching this who are in a similar situation to me. So I see you. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you again soon.